The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Always clear your throat before you go live. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for the 6th day of October, 2025. And our RSN Greatest Hits Tour now comes to Fenway Park for what essentially is Game 8 of the 1988 World Series. No, it's not Game 8. It is the Cincinnati Reds and the Boston Red Sox. The Reds won the World Series, but because it was a blind draw, they are the road team for this. But if you've watched the first 6 games of this series, or of this tournament, home field advantage really hasn't mattered all that much until Game 3. The road teams in the first 6 games have won 4 of 6, except for Game 3, the most important game in the best-of-3 series, where the home team has won them both. So this team will meet the winner of the 56 Yankees and 2001 Seattle Mariners in the other of our semifinal series. If you were with us on Friday, we know that one semifinal will be the 78 Los Angeles Dodgers versus the 1949 New York Yankees. Now, this 88 rematch was in our 7 years our only 7-game World Series. As a matter of fact, the home team won all 7 games, including Game 7, which we don't want to talk about. So these two teams know each other pretty well. DH for all 3 of these games, as the entire tournament will have a DH for you. It should have been Danny Jackson, but he'll go in Game 2 in Cincinnati against Bruce Hurst. It is Roger Clemens versus Tom Browning. My goodness, my hair is just all over the place. I wish it was this. It is the Cincinnati Reds winners from 2024 versus the runner-up from 2024, the 1988 Boston Red Sox. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalAdice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It is a rainy night here in Boston. As we get set and raring to go here, I'm going to fix the lag on my stream, because it is quite laggy. Before we tell you about Roger Clemens. Clemens went 18-12 for Boston and a 2.93 ERA. Roger, the 86 and 87 Cy Young Award winner, 35 starts, a 2.93 ERA. As we said, he is 29 years old. He is a splitter. That's his number 1 pitch at 94, and a ground ball pitcher. And this will be, thank you, this will be the lineup that he will face. Barry Larkin leads off at short for the Reds. Chris Sabo at third will bat second. Eric Davis in center field goes third. Cal Daniels cleans up in left. Nick Osaski at first will bat fifth. Paul O'Neill in right will go sixth. Jeff Treadway at second will bat seventh. Bo Diaz, someone that Pete Rose loved an awful lot, behind the plate batting eighth. And Ron Oster, the toaster, is a DH for the Reds. He'll bat ninth. Clemens can get you 9 innings if he's efficient. Defensively for Boston, Mike Greenwell a 5 and a 3 in left. Ellis Burks a 7 and a 5 in center. Dwight Evans a 6 and an 8 in right, and he has been forgiven for his World Series faux pas from 2 years ago. Wade Boggs a 7 at third. Spike Owen a 7 and 5 at short. Marty Barrett a 5 and a 7 at second. Marty had a great World Series. Todd Benzinger a 2 at first. Rich Gedman behind the plate, he's an 8 and a 4. Clemens a 3 with a 9.71 fielding percentage. So there you go. It is raining, 75 degrees. Clemens digs in at 264 innings, 217 hits. He allowed 17 homers. He walked 62 and struck out 291. And yes, I remember the outcome box. Barry Larkin hit .296 for the Reds in '88, 12 homers, and 56 RBI. And this one starts with a ground ball to Owen. Spike throws to Benzinger. Todd B. Commenter, it's his tournament. He's playing first, one out. For Chris Sabo hitting .271, 11 homers, and 44 RBI. Clemens winds and deals. Struck him out. That's the first for Roger, a 2-2. Gone to Chase at 94. 2 out for Eric Davis, .273, 26 homers, and 93 RBI. He and Pete Rose were oil and vinegar, but Davis was one of the big reasons why the Reds won our World Series. Right center, Burks will make the catch, and that is the inning. Reds go in order, half inning in the books, no score. Tom Browning, the lefty, is 28. He is an extreme fly ball pitcher, and he throws at 85. He had a perfect game in '88, 18-5 the record, a 3.41 ERA, and he went 36 times for the Reds. 5 complete games and 2 shutouts. Wade Boggs will lead off for Boston at third. Marty Barrett at second will bat second. Mike Greenwell in left will go third. You can make the argument that he should have been the MVP. Dwight Evans in right will clean up. Jim Rice, the DH, will bat fifth. Rich Gedman behind the plate batting sixth. Spike Owen at short going seventh. Todd B., president of the George Hendrick fan club, at first going eighth. And Ellis Burks, we're going to try doing, he, remember, had a horrible postseason, if I remember correctly. We're going to try him in that second leadoff position at 9. And Browning, he might be able to get you 9 innings. 125 pitches, 8 for sure if he's good. Defensively for the Reds, Chris Sabo is 7 at third. Barry Larkin is 7 and a 7 at short. Jeff Treadway, a 6 and a 6 at second. Nick Kasaski, a 4 at first. Sabo, Larkin, and Treadway all played up here in Burlington. Cal Daniels, a 4 and a 6 in left. Eric Davis, a 10, but his arm isn't very good. It's only a 2. Paul O'Neill, a 5 and a 7, and will live in infamy as that soccer kick from right field that you see every commercial break on MLB TV. Bo Diaz, a 7 and a 6 behind the plate. Browning, not a bad fielder. He's a 7 with a .927 fielding percentage. Boggs at .366, 5 homers, 58 RBI, and several cases of PBR. Rips this one to first. Asaski's got it 1 out. For Marty Barrett, Marty at .283, a home run and 65 RBI. Popped up right side, Treadway on the grass, 2 out. For Greenwell at .325, he had 39 doubles, 8 triples, 22 homers, and drove in 119. If you remember, the Red Sox in real life were part of 5 teams that finished within 5 games of first in the American League East. They were the survivors there. And I believe they went down the last week in the replay, too. Greenwell to short, Larkin over to Asaski, and that will do. So both teams go in order in the first after 1 at Fenway, no score. So Daniels is keeping the home fires burning. Asaski and O'Neill to face Jolly Roger here in the second. Cal at .291. We know a lot of you invested heavily in his rookie cards. 18 homers and 64 RBI. Reds pretty much, I think, went wire to wire in our replay, and then maybe pulled the biggest shocker of them all and swept the Mets in the NLCS. Daniels up the middle. Oh, and long throw, and Cal is out on a bang-banger. So 1 out for Asaski, hitting .243, 15 homers, and 62 RBI. Game 2 will be Wednesday at noon Eastern. And if there is a Game 3, I have a meeting on Thursday, so it would be Thursday night at 7. That is, if we need a Game 3. The first two series in this tournament have gone the distance. Asaski, left field. Greenwell, 2 out. For Paul O'Neill, Paulie at 252, 16 homers and 73 RBI. Clemens cruising right along on a rainy night in Boston. Into center, Burks will make the catch, and it's 6 up, 6 down. Clemens looking pretty sharp, 22 pitches through 2. After an inning and a half here at Fenway, no score. So Dwight Evans got a standing ovation as he came in. Tom Browning gives him a wink. Dewey at 293, 21 homers and 111 RBI. Dewey was a hitter that just got better as he aged. You look at something like 78 or something like that, he's barely hitting 250. But he learned to hit, and learned to hit well. Pitch to Evans into center field. Back goes Davis, and Eric will make the catch. 1 out. For Jim Ed at 264, 15 homers and 72 RBI. How many of you actively play when you do a replay or a project with your childhood hero, which Jim Rice is my childhood hero, my favorite player growing up. Always fun to play him. Pitch to Rice. There's a fly ball to left. Back goes Daniels, but Cal will make a catch on the base of the track, and there are 2 out for Gedman. Rich at 231, 9 homers and 39 RBI. So Browning has had an easy first 2 innings so far, too. Pitch to Gedman. There's a line shot to Larkin, and the Red Sox 6 up, 6 down. We've played 2 innings here. Haven't had a base runner yet. Haven't had a chatter yet. No score. So 7, 8, 9 for the Reds here in the third. Treadway at 252. Jeff had 2 homers and drove in 23 in part-time duty. Clemens and Browning hooked up here in game 1. Roger deals left field. Greenwell, and that's well hit, but again, on the track, and Mike will make the catch. 1 out. For Bo Diaz, hitting 219, 10 homers, and 35 RBI. If I remember, he did not play or wasn't eligible for the World Series. Clemens deals. There is the first base hit of the game as Dwight Evans, again, couldn't quite get there, and it dropped in front of him. That's how we lost the series. So Diaz not a threat to steal. Here's Oster, around at 280 and 10 RBI. Again, if you're new to the series, best of 3. Game 2 will be in Cincinnati. Baby, if you ever wondered. Oster to Owen at short. Barrett for 1, but they won't get Oster. So the fielder's choice goes 6-4, 2 out for Larkin, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Roger, 34 pitches, 2 2/3, a hit, and just the 1 strikeout. Into center field, back goes Burks. Ellis is there, and that will do. So the Reds get a hit, and they'll leave a runner on. After 2.5, how you doing, Bart? Reds nothing, Red Sox nothing. You've played Mickey Mantle as your child, I suppose, Bart. Now, what'd you do, APA or Strat? It'll be Owen, Benzinger, and Burks here in the third for Boston. Spike at 249, 5 homers and 18 RBI. Spike eventually replaced by Jody Reed as a shortstop for the Reds, or second baseman also for the Red Sox. Walked him, so that's the first base runner for Boston, is Spike Owen. Todd Benzinger at 254, 13 homers and 70 RBI. Bart already has one team in the semifinals. Struck him out, first for Browning. A full count Fastball on the outside corner, one away for Ellis Burks. Ellis, again, struggled mightily in the postseason when we did it 2 years ago. 294, 18 homers, and 92 RBI. He does have speed. Challenged the Yankees. That was the Cadco Spinner game, wasn't it? An all-star baseball. Okay. That is cool. I'm trying to think, I think Micro League, now I'm dating myself, was the first time I ever played with Jim Rice. I don't think he might have been in the championship baseball set I picked up at KB Toys back in 1983. Pitch to Burks, Ellis swings, ground ball to Larkin, and the throw to first is in time. So Burks is retired, Owen moves up to second, 2 out for Boggs, who was 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Browning, 35 pitches, 2 2/3, a walk, and a strikeout. You could find those challenge the Yankees sets on eBay. I think they probably go for a pretty penny right now. Boggs gets hit. Got him on the arm, and that bruised his 12-ounce weight arm. So first and second, 2 out for Marty Barrett, who's 0 for 1. Owen on second, Boggs on first. Barrett swings, base hit, right field. Gets past Davis and O'Neill. Owen scores, Boggs scores, and Marty's into second, standing with a 2-run double, and the Red Sox break through 2-0. For Mike Greenwell, who's 0 for 1. Oh, Bart, you didn't play Stratton until 5 or 6 years ago. Were you someone, Bart, who gamed until real life intervened and then took a few years off for life? Greenwell's 0 for 1. Marty Barrett, I mean, he gets kind of lost here. We talked about it a lot when we did the 88 postseason. But he was pretty much the Dustin Pedroia. He was going to produce for you. A little taller than Dustin. Greenwell swings. That's up the middle for a base hit. Barrett around third. They're going to send him home. Davis throws it back in, and the Red Sox are up 3-0. So the Red Sox have timed Browning well here in the third. Dwight Evans 0 for 1. Todd B. How you doing? You're playing first base today. Congratulations. Dewey swings right center field. Davis running a long way will make the catch, and that'll do. However, Red Sox get 3. 2 on the RBI double by Marty Barrett on 2 hits and no errors. Go to the fourth of game 1. Boston 3, Cincinnati nothing. So Sabo, Davis, and Daniels to face Clemens here in the fourth. High ground ball to Benzinger. 1 out. Eric Davis 0 for 1. Davis, if I remember, struggled in the postseason. The thing with this Reds team, though, is that they're very consistent. Daniels, Sabo. There really isn't a break, because if Davis makes contact, ball go far. Struck him out. That's 2 for Clemens. Change up, and Davis swung right through it for Daniels, who's 0 for 1. No, he didn't play any games until recently, except some video. I think that's a case for a lot of people, Bart. MLB The Show, or OTP, or EA's Triple Play. I had that on the Genesis. Pitch to Daniels. Base hit, left center field. They'll drop in front of Greenwell, trying for 2, and Daniels steals second on the double. He kept the afterburners on. Owen should have had it. Greenwell got it on a hop. Took a funny bounce, and the throw to second was not in time. Here's a Sasky, who's 0 for 1. Struck him out, and that'll do. So after 3.5 here in Fenway, Cincinnati gets a hit. They've gotten 2 overall. They've left on 2, but trail the Red Sox 3-0. So, here's how we got here. The first 6 games of this tournament. In the opening series, the Dodgers beat the Cardinals 2-1. Game 1 in L.A., St. Louis beat the Dodgers 5-3. And then Game 2 in St. Louis, the bullpen blew it, or Dodgers got past them 5-4. And then Ron Say's 3-run homer in the 8th in Game 3 sparked a 6-run inning for the Dodgers. They were down 4-0 to St. Louis, and they beat the Cardinals 6-4. They will play the 49 Yankees. The Expos, behind a 2-run homer by Gary Carter in the first, stood up, and they beat the Yankees 2-1. Then up in Montreal, Joe DiMaggio with a big base hit. Yankees beat the Expos 7-4, and in the series finale, Phil Rizzuto had 3 hits. Ali Reynolds pitched well, and the Yankees beat the Expos 6-2. So semifinal series number 1 will be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Jim Rice 0 for 1. Got into fantasy baseball and basketball about 15 years ago. Yeah, Todd, not many people watching, so not a lot of chat. Rice swings, ground ball to first, 1 out. I did, Bart, Rich Gedman, by the way, 0 for 1. Yahoo Fantasy Basketball League once. Okay? Don't ask me why, because I think I was bored. And I don't really know much about pro hoops. You a Knicks fan? If you are, I'm sorry. And I was clever enough to draft Shaq. This must have been 2002, 2003. And because I had Shaq, along with some others, obviously, I won my league. Don't ask. Fly ball, left field. Daniels retreating, but that will stay in the yard. And there's 2 out for Spike Owen, who walked and scored in the 3rd. John, let's go whoever's playing the Sox. It's your Reds. So Bart's a Knicks fan. Pitch to Spike. Struck him out. That's 2 for Browning. We go to the 5th. Red Sox go in order in the 4th. They lead it 3-0. John does not like the Red Sox. John likes to torment me. Don't be like John. It'll be O'Neill, Treadway, and Diaz to face Clemens here in the 5th. Ball is 0 for 1. I retired from fantasy football after the 2016 season. I hadn't played in a couple of years. My dad had a very good team, and he died. And so I took over and didn't mess it up. And in the ultimate irony of ironies, we got to the finals and played my mom and beat her. And that was it. That was the end of my fantasy days for that. I mean, you couldn't top that. And so my dad would have been happy that his team won a championship. Pitch to O'Neill. There is a ground ball right side. Base hit. Evans throws it back in. Todd B did fantasy football once and should have won my league, but others rested their starting quarterbacks in the final week. Yep, that's the thing now with week 17 especially. Being the championship week in most leagues. Jeff Treadway's 0 for 1. Clemens deals. Up the middle, Roger on several hops. Barrett for 1, Benzinger for 2. That was a slow comebacker, and Roger had to rush to throw to second. But Marty, being Marty, did the pivot, and it is indeed a 1-4-3 double play. 2 out for Diaz. Bo singled his first time up. Remember, Wednesday afternoon for Game 2. And I will be managing the Red Sox because, gosh darn it, I want them to win. I mean, I don't really care who wins. Yes, I do. Struck him out. So Clemens is fan 4. Halfway through Game 1, the rain has stopped here in Boston. And again, this is the 8th time these two teams have met. And right now, it's the 8th time the home team is up 3-0 Boston. Bart has the Tampa Bay Giants in fantasy football. Can we send the Giants to Tampa? No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Reds. If you joined us late, 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. Marty Barrett, a 2-run double in the third, made it 2-0 Boston, and then Mike Greenwell singled home Marty Barrett to make it 3-0. Tom Browning, a 2-hitter through 4. All 3 runs are earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 2. Roger Clemens, a 3-hitter through 5, and has struck out 4. Todd B at the plate. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Patriots with an impressive upset. You'll pay for shipping? I'll throw it in, Bart. That's for sure. Oh. You know, I listen on the satellite radio to the games, and I got to be honest, Bob Papa, Howard Cross, and Carl Banks, they are so honest. I mean, they will just tell you that the poopy sandwich that the Giants have is a poopy sandwich. Pitch to Todd B. Fly ball, left center field. Daniels retreating, makes the catch, and he'll gain a penny on his rookie card for that. 1 out. For Ellis Burks is 0 for 1. Popped up. Diaz to the screen, and Bo will make the catch. 2 out. Opening 18 for Browning. 4 2/3. 73 pitches. 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. I didn't realize, because I don't pay that much attention, that the Ravens are missing 6 players. I saw that they got smushed by the Texans yesterday and wondered why. Diaz will pick it up in foul territory. Boggs fouled it off the mask. Got a spark. Wade makes sure that Bo's okay. Bo says yeah. An 0-1 count. 2 out here in the 5th. Boggs rips this one to right. Past O'Neill. Wade is going to be on second with a double. And the Red Sox are threatening again for Marty Barrett, who doubled in the 3rd and drove in 2. John might be recovering from Denver beating the Eagles yesterday. Fly ball, left center. Daniels will make the grab, and that will do. Red Sox have left on 2. After 5, no runs, a hit, no errors. Red Sox 3, Reds nothing. So Oster, Larkin, and Sabo to face Clemens here in the 6th. Bart lives outside of Philly, so he has to put up with the Eagles. I live in Vermont, and there's a lot of Jersey transplants up here, Bart. And they're not Giants fans. Up the middle. Burks plays it on a hop. You don't want that to get past. It was a 50-50 proposition. And Oster doesn't have a lot of speed. So the 4th hit for the Reds. Barry Larkin 0 for 2. Hopefully, John, if the the Phillies will play better today. Larkin 0 for 2. Clemens opening 18, 63 pitches, 5+, 4 hits, and 4 strikeouts. I guess Denver has a really good run defense. And John, South Jersey, all Eagles and Phillies. Oh, yeah. I had caregivers that grew up in South Jersey. Trust me, I heard all about it. And I'm sure they're loving Vladdy Guerrero Jr., however. Pitch to Larkin, and Barry draws the walk. So 1st and 2nd, the Reds have the tying run at the plate now, and Chris Sabo, who was 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Does Clemens get in the hall before he dies? I would think so. I think he and Bond should be in. Struck him out. 5 for Clemens. An 0-2 changeup. 1 out for Eric Davis, who's 0 for 2 with the K. There's a ground ball to first. Benzinger can't make the play. And so the bases are loaded. Clemens says a few words. Here's Cal Daniels, who has a double today. He's 1 for 2. So Oster on third, Larkin on second, and Davis on first. John says, I don't know what was worse on Saturday. The Phillies losing, or the fact that Ohtani gave up 3 runs in 6 innings and struck out 3 times. You would swear he had the game-winning home run. Ohtani is one of those rare talents that just kind of defies description. And unlike his former teammate Mike Trout, doesn't seem to have wasted his career. Up the middle, base hit. Oster scores. 3-1. Reds are punching Clemens hard here. Here's a Sasky. Nick is 0 for 2 with a K. Ground ball would be nice here. The run is unearned. Gedman and Clemens have a word. Roger deals. This might be 2. Boggs makes a great play. They're going to get 1 out here at least. Barrett for 1. Asaski will reach because the throw is late. Larkin scores, and it's a 1-run game. So 3-2. The Reds have 2 here in the 6th off of Roger Clemens. For Paul O'Neill, who's 1 for 2. He singled. So Davis on third, the tying run. Asaski on first, the go-ahead run. Was that Ohtani's first playoff pitching start? Pitch to O'Neill. That's a base hit, and we're tied up. Asaski on his way to third. The throw to Boggs. They got him! So a 6% chance. Burks threw him out, but the Reds get 3 on a bunch of hits. And we go to the bottom of the 6th here at Fenway. Cincinnati 3, Boston 3. So Greenwell, Evans, and Rice to face Browning here in the 6th. The Reds touch up Jolly Roger. Greenwell 1 for 2, a single and an RBI. Browning deals, fly ball right field, back goes O'Neill, and that's off the wall. Greenwell into second standing, and the Red Sox had the go-ahead runner on before Browning can dig into the mound. Here's Dwight Evans. Dewey 0 for 2. Popped up. Larkin by the bag at second. 1 out. For Rice, who's 0 for 2. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Reds, and they have left on 3. Todd B's big error for the Red Sox looming large. 3 runs, 4 hits, the 1 error, and the Red Sox have left on 2. Browning deals. Rice into left center field. Davis cuts it off, makes the catch, and Greenwell will hold. 2 out for Gedman. Rich is 0 for 2. That is a base hit into right field. It's shallow. O'Neill will throw it in. Greenwell didn't stop, and the Red Sox go back up 4-3. Game 8 seems to be everything you'd expect out of these 2 good teams. If you look at the record, the regular season record, if you look, the Red Sox had a better record than Cincinnati in real life, but they are both kind of on the bottom of the barrel as far as regular seasons go for these 8 teams. The Red Sox would be seeded 6th, and Cincinnati would be seeded 7th. Spike Owen walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. It is a sparse crowd. Bart rooting for the Reds. Hard ground ball to Larkin, throws to Asaski, and that will retire Owen. We've played 6. Red Sox get a run on 2 hits. They've left on 3. They go to the 7th here at Fenway, 4-3, Boston. John says, you might have thought after Ohtani gave up the 3 runs, the Dodgers were winning 0-3. Joe Morgan reminded us a lot in his lifetime that the Reds won the 75 World Series. Just saying. Kind of goes both ways. Jeff Treadway is 0-2 today. It'll be Treadway, Diaz, and Oster to face Clemens here in the 7th. Right center, Burks has it for the ad. Has anybody bought the Action PC baseball playoff set? I have not. Bo Diaz 1-2. He is singled and struck out. Ground ball to Owen. Over to Benzinger. 2 out. For Oster, 1-2. Ron has singled and scored. So we're getting to the point where Lee Smith is starting to stir in the pen. Oster rips this one past Owen into left field, and the tying run is on. Yeah, I haven't either. And Herm Winningham is going to pinch run. Herm has good speed and is now the DH. Clemens, 27 batters, 92 pitches. No earned runs. All 3 Reds runs are unearned. 6 2/3, 7 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Up the middle, Owen over to first, and Larkin is retired. Stretch time, 4-3 Boston. How many times have the Dodgers and Phillies met since '77 in the playoffs? Todd B., Ellis Burks, and Wade Boggs to face Browning here in the 7th. Todd is 0-2 with a K. It's a bunch. It was, 77, 78 that I remember. 83. And then once you get into the more modern stuff, I've drawn a blank. Pitch to Benzinger is a base hit center field. Davis will throw it back in. 6th hit for Boston. Ellis Burks is 0-2. 5 times out. Okay. So the Dodgers won the first 2 in 77 and 78. Then the Phillies would have won in 83. Pitch to Burks. And Ellis draws the walk. For Boggs. Wade 1-2. A double. A run scored. Fly ball, left field. Daniels will make the catch. He had it sized up. Benzinger will tag and hold. 1 out, and that'll... Ooh. Yeah, I will. Jose Rio coming in to pitch. 83, 08, and 09. So the Phillies World Series years. 83 a given. No, sorry. So every time the Phillies have beaten the Dodgers, they've gone to the World Series. Jose Rio would be my pick to pitch Game 3 if we come back here. 23 years old, fastball, a hard one at 96, and a standard pitcher. 13-8 for Pete Rose's Reds, a 2.39 ERA. He went 49 times, which is a Swiss Army knife, and started 19. 162 innings, 120 hits, 7 homers, 63 walks, and 160 strikeouts. Of course, John points out the 2 series the Dodgers won. They went to the World Series, but to be fair, it was the NLCS. Marty Barrett 1-3. A 2-run double in the 3rd. Rio trying to keep this a 1-run game. Jose starts. Fly ball, shallow left. Daniels coming in. Rides a Schwinn. Makes the catch. 1 out. 2 out for the gainer. Greenwell has singled, doubled, driven in a run, and scored. And Rio walks Greenwell. So 2 out for Dwight Evans, who is 0 for 3. Dewey struggled at the plate, if I remember correctly, in that World Series. So Benzinger on third, Burks on second, Greenwell on first. Speed everywhere. Rio, deep breath, delivers into center. Davis makes the catch, and the Red Sox leave him loaded. Muska Mouseketeer. No runs, a hit, no errors. Go to the 8th in game 1. Red Sox 4, Reds 3. Yeah, I mean, you mean Ramon Martinez. Yeah, Rio could throw hard. He was like a Pedro Martinez. And was the big hero for the Reds when they won the World Series in '90. Chris Sabo was 0 for 3. Clemens has fanned him twice. Left field, Greenwell. 1 out. Eric Davis, 0 for 3, has scored and struck out. Clemens deals. High ground ball to third. Boggs has it. Has to make a snap throw to Benzinger. And Davis is retired. For Cal Daniels, Cal 2 for 3. Has singled, doubled, and drove home one of those Reds runs in the 6th. Right center, Burks. Clemens is through 8. A web jam. Burks, a sliding catch, rips up some turf and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Fenway. Boston 4, a fast stream, and the Reds 3. So Rice, Gedman, and Owen to face Rio here in the 8th. Jimmy's 0 for 3. Slash to third. Sabo over to Wasaski. 1 out. Game 2, Wednesday at noon. Bruce Hurst, Danny Jackson from Riverfront. Gedman 1 for 3. Rich didn't only play against lefties, but he's 1 for 3 with a single today. Tom Gordon. Yeah. It was one of those where the Royals, he could start, turned him into a closer. I didn't realize until a couple years ago that D was his kid. He did some work on when the Red Sox would play in Florida on the radio and told some great stories. Pitch to Gedman, laced down to first. Asaski picks it up. 2 out. For a spike. 0 for 2. A walk, a strikeout, and a run scored. Slobber down to Treadway over to Asaski, and that will do. So, Roger Clemens trying to close this one out. The Red Sox, no runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th here at Fenway on a cloudy night in Boston. Red Sox 4, Reds 3. So, Asaski, O'Neill, and Treadway, and Leo Arthur is ready when the time comes. Left field, Greenwell, 1 out. 1 to tie, 2 to go ahead. Would this be like the fastest stream ever? Paul O'Neill is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. Struck him out. That's 6 for Clemens in his last chance saloon time. A 2-2 just below the belt. So it's Jeff Treadway. Jeff is 0 for 3 today. And if nothing happens in the next minute or two, then again, these two teams at home, 8 in a row. That's a base hit into center all the way to the wall. That will go for a double, and Treadway's in there, and here comes Bo Diaz, and Clemens says, I want him, and we'll let him pitch. Yeah, he could. He could generate a lot of power with a fastball. Ben McDonald, another one that I thought would be better, too. So Clemens says, I want Diaz. Ray Little says, okay. Treadway, the tying run on second, 2 out. Bo 1 for 3. A single and a strikeout. Stays in the game. That's in the left center. Burks makes the catch, and the Red Sox win this one 4-3. It says 2 hours and 52 fake minutes, but that seemed to go fly by. The Red Sox take Game 1. It's the first home team to win a Game 1 in this tournament. 4 runs, 6 hits, and error, and they left on 6. The Reds got all 3 runs in the 6th. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. And they left on 5. Clemens went the distance, 9 innings, 8 hits, no earned runs, all 3 runs, thanks to the error from Todd B. Thanks, Todd. He walked 1 and struck out 6. Tom Browning, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2. They've all been close games. All 7 games of this project have been very good baseball. Imagine that. Browning walked 2 and struck out 2. Rio, who I would have used to pitch Game 3, inning and 2/3 and a hit. I guess you got to give it to Clemens, although Marty Barrett had the big hit in the 3rd with a 2-run double. And so that'll do. It will be, like we said, Bruce Hurst and Danny Jackson on Wednesday at noon as the Reds try to tie up this series. For now, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. The final score here, it is the Red Sox 4, the Reds 3. So we'll go to Cincinnati for game number 2. Wednesday at noon. And if the Reds win, it'll be a primetime game on Thursday. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Have a good one, everybody.